Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of a Nation Wave, and this is day 6 of the February daily draws. So let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Linestrider Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle. So let's draw our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Five of Cups. This came out last month too, because I can remember remarking on it in the review for for last month, and it's come out again. And this is all about our focus of where we put our attention. Quite often, when we've been through a period of loss, of things just going from our lives that we mourn, and when I say that, it can include bereavement, losing someone through bereavement. It can include that. But that, I believe, is a what I call a specialist category. And I'm very loath to tell someone to, if they've lost someone through bereavement, I'm loath to tell them it's time to move on from that and take the focus away from that loss and get on with things. There comes a point where in the grieving process that, life just carry on and we have to come to terms with things and in our own way. But that's not for me to even contemplate telling someone how to grieve. So I'm leaving that out. Yes, it can include that, but I think there's a different way of approaching actual real grief through losing someone through bereavement. This is things that have gone from our lives, that emotional attachments, relationships that maybe people have gone some. Maybe they've just moved on and they're no longer around. They're still around. They're still somewhere in the world, but they're not actually in our circle anymore because they've moved on to something else. And they may have moved on to something better for them, but we do miss them. We do miss the loss, the space that they've left in our lives. It could be sometimes a breakup of a relationship. Maybe we've had a parting of the ways, either amicably or not amicably. And that causes us a sense of loss and anguish over it. And that it could be the loss of something that we loved. It needn't be a person. It could be just a job or something that we were involved with that's no longer there. That we is something that's left that space in our lives, or it's something that fell apart and it just didn't work out, and we can play it over in our minds and really look at it and fixate on it. But there comes a point when we do have to get on with life, and it's not that we forget our loss. We can still remember our loss and acknowledge our loss. But it comes a point where we need to start living, where we need to move on to the next phase of our lives and work with what we still have. And that is the key thing here. It's working with not what's gone from our lives, but what remains. Look at what remains in our lives. Let's look at what remains then, particularly the positive things. The things we can say, well, I'm glad I still have this. Look around you. Look into your life. Look into yourself. What do you still have? And how can you use that to forge the next stage in your life journey? How can you move forward using the things that you have within you and the things you have around you, the people you know, the things, the situation that you're in, whatever is there in this moment? How can you use these things as stepping stones, as blocks to build your future? How can you use them? And that is the focus that I believe is that the Five of Cups advocates, that moving away to turning and looking at the things more of what you still have, and having that, making a more positive focus. As I said, you don't forget what has gone, but you don't let that overwhelm and hold you back from moving forward. As I say, maybe for a certain period, but there comes a time when we have to turn our heads. And the owl is a very good depiction of it, because it can turn its head almost, a great deal around. It can rotate its head, not quite 360 degrees, but almost. And it can do an about turn. And maybe that's what we need to do in our focus, where we emphasize our attention. Is our attention still on the past and what we've lost? Or are we looking to what we have and what we can build? And what we can put where is our heart's focus? Where is, where are our feelings attached to? The things we've lost still, and it's tying us to that sense of loss? Or are we looking forward to what we can do with what we have, and how that can bring us more happiness in our lives? Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Milk Moon Witch. Interesting card. Butterflies, transformation, the moon and the sea. A lot of moon energy recently as well, haven't we? I look at cards with the moon element in them, and the sea, tossing sea, but we're navigating it and we're moving on. The tossing of our emotions, we need to transform the way we look at them, move on in our journey. Just looking at the image and what I get from the image. What does it say at the bottom here? The little verse that we have at the bottom. Watch as the tides turn in your favor, weaving the waters within and conjuring unspoken desire. Well, that's it, isn't it? Let the tide turn from the loss. Let it turn. It's like doing an about turn, the focus, and in your favor, to the more positive things, weaving the waters within. That's your inner life, your emotions, your feelings, and conjuring your unspoken desire, the things that you really want next, where to put your attention for your focus of what you want to build and what you want to create, not what you've lost. And I believe that emphasizes the message of the Five of Cups. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 7. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.